Good evening. I want to welcome everyone and say how pleased we are to have such a great group show up. We're here to celebrate Wade Kach agreeing to run for the 2018 session. I'm Ron Stewart. I'm a volunteer with Wade, with a number of other people here who have volunteered over the last 4 years, worked with Wade very closely. We feel we have a candidate that is very unique. It's like a member of the family running. He needs our support, deserves it. He has never forgotten us, being the longest serving Republican in the Maryland state political group. A very deserving candidate that lives up to his promises. He said, "Don't tell them about me. Answer the question why we want him to run." We need conservative ideas. We all understand the political positioning at the county council, the present administration. We know that public input is limited, many times discouraged. We know that conservative budgeting is not a four-letter word. We have to have both the revenue side protected. We need growth in the county, but we need a sincere effort in controlling expenses. And line by line, looking at the expenses, are we getting the right production out of the dollars spent? We need somebody on the council that will vote yes when it's good for us. But we need somebody, as importantly, will vote no when it's not. It's not a group at the council to go along to get along. We don't send our representative in the 3rd district up there to do that. We need somebody that will stand for our values. Wade's done that in the last 3 years, excuse me. At the end of February 27th, I believe, all the candidates must declare. Wade went down and signed his name up today. In June, we're going to have a primary. We expect Wade will have a competitor. We expect Wade will, like he has in every election he's ever run, to be victorious. Out of the voters of the general election in 2014, Wade garnered 70% of the vote. That shows he not only got Republican votes, he got Democratic votes. He has covered this territory, the 3rd district, step by step. He went literally with groups of his volunteers to over 3,000 doors, homes, in 2014. He spent the year 2013 doing this. You have to work a year in advance to get the job before you ever get in a seat to do anything. It takes a lot of effort. We're asking for volunteers tonight. Anyone that knows someone else that you think would be capable, door to door, put up signs, even have a sign that a person that will let a sign be put on their yard. Anything you can do is very helpful. We have a website that and a Gmail account that you can just drop your name. I'll call you back. We'll get in contact. We're going to be prepared. we're going to win. I expect a 70-30, but if you know Wade, he lets nothing slip by. He'll work you. He wants to be a winner for us. Tonight we have several guests with us. We want to have special thanks to Mr. Stenderson, Steve Stenderson, U.S. Lacrosse CEO. A wonderful facility. Thank you very much for allowing us. Jody, the facility manager, in the back, greeted, has worked with us for several weeks preparing this. We thank them very much. It is so important for us to get off on the right foot. We have signs. I give you an idea, small, medium, large. We have t-shirts, we have labels, pens, pencils, handouts. We are today taking that first step, and we're going to run until November when Wade gets elected. Can I introduce a man that we consider a family friend? He's a favorite all over the county. If you go door to door with Wade, two things happen. One, he quizzes you about math problems. No, I don't know that. I'm pretty smart, but I didn't know that, Wade. And it takes you forever to get through the list because everyone wants to bring him in the house. Come in, you taught my son, you taught my daughter. Come sit and have tea. It's an experience. To really know that there is someone that's trusted. This man is trusted and deserving. My mother loves him. She's only 97. My wife loves him. And most important for family unity, my dog loves him. And I've got one of those little signs, beware a dog. But Wade has no boundaries. He is the man in the third district. And we thankfully have him tonight.
I hope you all don't mind. I fractured my hip and broke my hand, so I'm using this to keep myself from, keep some stress off my leg. But anyhow, I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. I appreciate it so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate all your efforts on my behalf. I want to introduce a number of people before I say anything. The first thing I want you all to know, this U.S. Lacrosse is the national headquarters of lacrosse in the United States of America. That is the museum downstairs. I heard people say, oh, I know this one, I know that one, because they honor people who have excelled in lacrosse. And I want to introduce, which Ron already did, Steve Stenderson, who is the executive director?
Just a working stiff, Wade.
A working stiff. And is Jody still here?
I'm here, Jody.
Who
Thanks, Wade.
is the building engineer? Does that sound good?
That's close enough.
Close enough. But I appreciate their hospitality so much. And the thing about this organization, besides being promoters, sponsors, cheerleaders for lacrosse, there's a tremendous amount of research, medical research that takes place here. And in fact, if you go downstairs, you'll see that they stay connected with researchers all over the country You know, you have the issues, concussions, etc. I've been in the gym downstairs where I've seen them put people through physical therapy. In fact, I think I'm being invited for my hip, and it's amazing. It really is, some of the things that they have people doing. My wife Evelyn is here. My staff. One thing about us in my office, we never give up, ever. We keep bugging and bugging and bugging the parish to be, usually it works on the state level, on the county level, that's a whole different story. But Ryan, who's over there, and Joanne, is she?
Right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Joanne, right over there. And, I have a couple other people who help, but they couldn't be here tonight. One of them lives in Frederick, and the other one lives on the Eastern Shore, so they aren't here tonight. But I also have the great honor of announcing 2 candidates for office. There's only 2 here, right? Yeah, okay. One of them happens to be my delegate, one of my delegates, our delegates in the Maryland General Assembly representing District 42B, Chris West, who's over here. Chris is running for the state senate in District 42, which it goes from the city line to the Pennsylvania border, let's say, like this. So Chris is running for that office in the Republican primary. I don't know if anyone else is running in the Republican.
There will be someone.
There will be. And I'm sure there'll be some Democrats running. The seat is currently held by Senator Jim Brochin, who of course is running for county executive. Speaking of county executive, I had the honor to sit next to in the Health and Government Operations Committee a delegate from District 7 of Baltimore County who some of you might know, named Pat McDonough, who's over there. And let me just tell you that I had to tell him how to vote. On the issues in committee, I explained everything to him and how to vote. That might be a little exaggeration, but anyhow, we sat next to one another in committee, and I found it to be very rewarding. And Pat is a candidate for county executive in Baltimore County, and and I really appreciate you being here tonight, and to get a chance to meet people from the 3rd District of Baltimore County. So again, I appreciate Chris and Pat being here this evening. My view has always been that I want to preserve in this district what we all love, and with your input, from the input of my constituents, change that which needs to be changed. And I think that many of you know that I wasn't real happy with this job in the very beginning because I'm so used to openness and transparency in government, and if anything, Baltimore County is not open, not transparent, and this is something that I've been working on, and this has given me the energy to want to push on and push on so that the day will come that you will know what the county is doing, when they're gonna do it, and why they're gonna do it, and more importantly, that you are gonna have the opportunity for input. I can't tell you the number of situations where things have happened with no public input. And I see we have individuals who Steve over there, who is affected by the action of Baltimore County. Baltimore County, with no public input, with no consideration of the neighbors, built a large animal shelter on Manor Road to replace the old one. Might sound good, but you know, it's good as far as I'm concerned. Problem is that they have dog runs that are right in the back of, how many houses would you say?
It was like four. They
Four.
really are truly effective.
4 or 5 houses. And the level of noise coming from those dog runs would warrant a sound barrier should it be along the Baltimore Beltway. That's how loud it is. And we pushed and pushed and pushed. And I'm happy to say that the county council, you've gotten their attention. There's no doubt about it. You should hear the tape of the dog barking. I mean, it's like you would think you'd go nuts if you had to live near that. So, and I, thankfully, with some of my legislative experience, I think I have a way to put in legislation that's going to force the county to build a sound barrier. I just don't want to do anything that may delay this product. The county has, first they said it was going to cost $200,000 to build the sound barrier. Now they're up to $600,000. Chris, you know, if they don't want to do something, they just give you a price that's outrageous. So I think one of the things that we've accomplished together during the 2014 election, I had many people in the district, in the suburban part of the district, upset over open space, especially open space owned by Baltimore County. They were afraid the county was going to come in and do whatever they want with it, just like they did on Manor Road. So I put in legislation that allows the council members within the URDL, that is houses that have water and sewerage, allows the council member to designate land owned by all levels of government and owned by a community association as neighborhood commons. And what that does is it protects that land. So the county can't come into Mays Chapel and clear their land and build whatever they want to there. They can't do that anymore because it's all in what's called neighborhood commons. And I did that for 1,300 acres in the suburban part of the openness and transparency. And I know a lot of you heard this. When I was first elected, I had in fact, I think it was, I didn't introduce Senator Della. I apologize. This is Senator Della. Stand up, Senator Della was a Baltimore City Council member from the 1st District? 6th District, okay. And then he was a state senator for 16 years.
28 years.
Is that all? I got you beat, I'm 43.
Wait, can I say something?
Sure.
Yeah, I at one time served in public office. And I followed my dad. I mean, he was my mentor. And he taught me a lot about being a public servant. And of course, I'm no longer there. I escaped from Baltimore City. I did my time. And, you know, and thought I knew what the law was, thought it would be real easy to learn what the law is if I had it in front of me, like the Baltimore County Charter and the code and everything. Baltimore County is unlike anything I've ever seen before in my life, I'm telling you. And I've been a lawmaker for 30-some years. But, and that in and of itself is an ongoing challenge. But you know something? You know what I learned? There's one person that listened. And that's the necessary ingredient for a good public servant. Wade Kach took the time to listen, and he sat down with people, and he got the Paul Harvey, the rest of the story. And I'm forever grateful, so are my neighbors. Thank you, Council.
Thank you very much, Senator. May I call you by your first name? Which I do all the time. But anyway, well, anyhow, came to me and said, on this particular bill, he said, we had no opportunity to testify on the bill. We didn't even know it was going to be heard. I said, what do you mean? All you do is go on the county website, look under work session, you'll see all the schedule. So to show him, I went online, and guess what? There was nothing there, nothing. They had not let the public know what bills were going to be considered during the work session. So now they're online, because I insisted that they be online, and I also send out 35,000 emails to people to let them know what the agenda will be. And also send out information that I know a lot of people find useful. Although there are a couple things I can't help with. For instance, I had a constituent ask me, he didn't know whether he had rats or muskrats. So I sent him a picture of a muskrat. So I told him, you're gonna have to do your own. And then the problem of aggressive squirrels, I didn't know what to tell that constituent either. So Joanne, what did you tell him?
Run the other way.
So yeah, I can't help with that kind of information, but there are some of the things that people want to know about. But I put in legislation, and I really appreciate all your support for this bill, that during the zoning process, which is every 4 years, the groups that are representing one side or the other for each case, that information has to be available to the public now online. So if you have a concern about a particular zoning issue, you'll be able to see who's involved and do what I ask, which is to meet and try to resolve the differences. That's the most important thing. So that information is going to be made public. My next attempt at legislation will be to mandate that the county executive have at least 2 countywide meetings prior to submitting his or her budget, so that we know what the public's view is, what the public wants. When I put the bill in before, it failed 4-3, and I was told, well, that people really should go through their council member and not bother the county executive. So in essence, somebody from, you'd have to come to me, and if I was gracious enough, then I would take that to the county executive, which is, to me, ridiculous. We have a county executive elected by the people, so I'm pursuing that. And the last thing, the most important thing, is economic development in Baltimore County. And everyone in here knows what companies look for when they want to relocate, expand in a subdivision. They look for the taxes, the schools, crime, the arts, whether or not you're a major league city or not. They look at all of them. And of course, one of the things I always look at is taxes. And unfortunately, for the first time in 22 years, I was the first councilman in 22 years to vote against the county budget this year because there's a lot of waste and efficiency. I don't know if you know about our former superintendent and the tablets. If anyone on the council had read the audit reports of that program, they would know it wasn't working, number one. The next year that it was evaluated, the results were so bad, they threw the results away. So our answer is just expand, expand, expand. So, and I can no longer be an advocate for, in essence, wasting money. So, again, I appreciate you being here, and if you don't mind, I would like to give our two candidates just 2 or 3 minutes to say something. Hopefully it'll be nice about me. I don't know. Chris, so you want to come first? And then Pat. Chris, I shudder to think what Pat's going to say. Chris, go ahead.
Let me just say that I moved to Baltimore County. I grew up in Baltimore County in this district, and then my parents moved to Roland Park, and then as soon as I left the house, I moved to Baltimore County and got involved in Republican politics in the mid-1970s when I got back from law school. Wade was about the first person I met. Wade asked me if I would become his campaign chairman. I thought, wow, this is really neat. I've got a real important position. Well, the campaign chairman does nothing. But nonetheless, I've worked closely with Wade ever since the mid-1970s. So you count the years. I'm planning my 50th reunion from high school. I graduated in the class of '68. So it's not 50 years, but it's more than 40 years that I've been working with Wade. He is a first-class person. He is totally honest, totally ethical, and very hardworking. He keeps his constituents' interests always at heart. I couldn't imagine a better county councilman for the people of northern Baltimore County than Wade Kach, and it's an honor to call him a friend.
Watch what you say.
Good evening. I sat next to Wade for 16 years. And Evelyn, I understand. Wade is he's a brilliant guy. I mean, and Chris also. We served on the health committee together, and it's the busiest committee in the General Assembly or General Asylum. You figure it out. And it's a very complex.